Welcome back to BC Procast episode 42. Today we have a special guest, Mackenzie Elizabeth,
Why didn't you say the last name?
because we don't know her last name right now.
What?
She's in the transitioning period.
What could this mean?
Let's just go straight off the bat. Show him that bad boy.
What does it mean?
We got engaged. So this podcast, since this podcast is heavily around me and Caden, BC Procast, we're obviously going to talk about some major milestones in our lives. So you guys, for the people that are interested, you guys are going to be able to hear a little bit behind the scenes of the story, how it happened, and hear about our funny stories along with him being there as well, maybe a third point view, and it was on a trip and everything like that. But I guess we're starting this podcast kind of fast because I'm just excited to talk about it. But this is my beautiful fiance.
What? That's weird.
Oh my goodness,
That's weird.
your fiance.
Feels good.
Did you guys change your contact name yet? Or are you guys still?
I added a heart emoji, so he got an upgrade.
You got.
He was
got
just
an
Bray
upgrade?
before, but now it's Bray with a blue heart.
What's yours now?
It's Kenzie with a honey pot.
Because I'm
Because
his
you're my
honey.
honey. Yeah.
I know.
Guys, stop being so
I
cute, bro. I'm
know.
blushing over
I know.
here.
We could be blue and blue, but that'd be confusing, you know what I mean? If
Oh,
we did
yeah.
eye color.
That
like
would
you
be
and Joella,
actually.
That'd be confusing. It'd be like, who's texting who?
You have great eyes, by the way.
Bro, the audience is getting uncomfortable.
Do you want to kind of ask questions?
Yeah, dude.
Or I can just talk about how amazing she is, but
Right, that's
probably
all.
want to just talk about the proposal.
Yeah. So, we went on vacation. It was your family vacation, and we went to Marco Island before we went on the cruise. And it was actually funny because when did you know you were going to propose?
So I had this plan for quite a while, and then maybe we'll use some dates in this podcast, if that's cool with you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it'll be like a memory thing. So I probably knew, and I want to apologize, disclaimer, to every single person I lied to. I lied
There's
straight
a
to your
lot.
face. I've actually been facing the repercussions after. I don't know if you've heard about it, but they're like, Caden knew, and you didn't tell me? I'm like, okay, hold on a second.
He was
Relax.
there. He had to know.
Relax. And yeah, and other reasons, of course, as well. But I'm like, relax. So there's a lot of anger that I feel from some people. I did lie to your face. But if you know me, I'm the king of surprises. Akity, a.k.a. one time I made Kenzie cry on Valentine's Day, but not a good cry. It was a bad cry
Bad cry.
because I surprised her so much to the point to make her think I didn't have anything planned that she really thought I didn't have anything planned.
He did that with the proposal too.
So, well,
Just
hold
not
on,
the
hold on.
day
Why
of.
you're skipping?
Like I know. I'm
But I
saying.
didn't make you do a bad
I'm
cry.
saying months in advance. You'd be like, oh,
Okay, hold on.
2 years.
So I'm
Not
doing.
even thinking about it. Ew. Why do you say marriage? Oh, you're so far ahead. Relax. You made me feel like that.
So
hope you
disclaimer to all those people
And Kenzie apparently.
and Kenzie. I did lie to a lot of people, but it was for the moment, and we succeeded with the moment. We made it happen. It was amazing.
And honestly, it's better for a surprise. You don't want Braden's fiance, aka Mackenzie, to know what's going on. But actually, that's kind of funny because I would get to know updates about how many people Braden has lied to. Not lied to. Let's
with it.
Okay.
It was lies. It was like.
Okay, he
He
was.
was people the week of saying, "Are you gonna propose?" To her, looking at me dead in the eyes, and I go, "No, it's not about that. That's not what this trip is. I wouldn't do that." I did lie.
So I got to get the list. He'd be like, "Hey, yeah, I think he would tell me I think I sold them," because I would say, no, seriously, it's not gonna happen." And even I thought it wasn't gonna happen after he told me that. But so
When I knew, when I found out, that's the question. I don't know if you're going back to that.
yeah,
When
Because I went off on a tangent. I figured it out and kind of knew, like, the idea of it happening at this time in this year, the 2024. That was the plan. I think we came to a actual planned decision that was going to happen probably early in the year, like March, April, May. March, April, May.
You came to that decision, or we came to that decision?
Not you. What? You were surprised.
I
You
know,
didn't
but
know.
I didn't. You said we. I didn't know if it was me.
Oh, like my party planning committee that we
got
had.
Got it.
It brainstorms. So I kind of knew then when I was going to do it to you. Do the proposal.
Did you have any inkling about that it was going to happen?
I knew that he was going to propose, but I didn't know it was going to be on the cruise. I knew he was thinking about it because he asked me what ring I wanted. And Braden never talks about marriage, and all of a sudden he started making jokes. Or we're in the car, and he'd be like, when we live together, I'm like, you're thinking about
stop
that
making
now.
up these
You're thinking about that now. And
fibs.
Braden does not play
I'm
games.
not a simp.
Like,
Don't say that.
he kind of is, but I won't tell anybody. You literally called me your honey like 10 minutes ago.
Well, that's
That's
like
a simp thing.
That's not a simp thing.
That was
Yeah.
my text name.
That's
what
a
do you mean?
simp thing.
Is it?
Yeah. Anyway, doesn't matter.
It's a good simp. It's a good simp. Hey, it's good to be. Welcome to the simp club. Well,
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have
I'm
to
not-
simp your fiance. So I knew that he was thinking about it. And I think we were on a similar page, but sometimes he would get me to a point where I thought I was going crazy because I would see all these signs, and then we'd be together and he'd be like, man, I'm not thinking about it right now, or like in a few
Braden's
years.
selfish summer.
Or it's Braden's selfish year. I'm not really thinking about that yet. And I'm like, well, start thinking about it, buddy, because it's getting...
There was one time. Do you want to tell him? There was one time that you just broke.
I did break down once, okay? I stayed strong. I told myself I'm not going to beg for a guy to propose. That's pathetic. Like, don't do that.
Didn't beg.
And I'm like,
You
no.
didn't beg.
But I didn't beg. But I was like, I'm not going to continue to bring it up because Braden is the one who has to pay for everything. So he knows what's going on. Like, I trust him, all stuff. But one time, because we had talked about rings, we had talked about all this stuff, and somebody's having a wedding, and he's like, telling his parents, he's like, yeah, but we're not getting married for like 2 years. And he's like, dead serious. And I'm like, Braden, stop. And he wouldn't like say like, I'm kidding. So I got in the car and I was like really emotional. I was like, Braden, why do you lie to me? Like, are we getting married or not? And
You're like, because I need to know. I really need to know. You can't be doing this
well,
game.
I'm like, because then I won't think about it anymore. Like, I won't think about getting married to you if we're not going to get married. And then you're like, can we relax? Like, after I move out, we'll talk about it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then we were looking at apartments, but we're like, maybe later this year. I'm like, oh my goodness, a winter engagement. How awful. It'll be so cold. My hands will be so cold. So
Is it cold right now?
Yes, with all this ice.
Let's
I had to
go.
think
She
about
caught-
it.
she
I
caught
was
onto
about
it.
to say I'm flying again. Yeah, so I kind of knew he was thinking about it, but he's really good at surprises. I didn't have any idea about the vacation.
So even going on, like, when we flew, were you like...
No, I was like sick on the plane. So the only thing I was thinking about was myself being sick.
Those pills worked, dude. Good job, man.
Also,
Just joking. We did not drug Kenzie, okay? Okay? The disclaimer, we did not.
I'm glad you did put that in there, just in case people thought that. So the ring. So I got her this ring. Shout out Harry, awesome guy.
Styles.
Not Harry Styles, but Harry. He knows who he is.
If he's watching this,
if he's
we love
watching.
you.
So I worked with him on the ring and custom making it and stuff like that. But it was funny because she sent me a bunch of ideas, and then we kind of had a conversation about it. And like I was being super chill, and I would go visit him, and be like, "Hey, so she's sending me all this stuff. Like, can we try to do something?" Like, and we worked it out. So I got the ring at the beginning of summer. Like, I think like a couple weeks after I finished school. So like in June.
Yeah.
And since June to August, I'm still getting texts from her and pictures
Because
and
you're
ideas
telling me you're not
of
even thinking about
rings,
it yet.
which is great. But like, I'm like, oh my goodness, she's sending more. And I'm like, but she said she wanted this. And then I'm like, because I took what she said and kind of tailored it to something I think she'd love. And I think I did a good job at it. But like she would send me more that would like kind of get further away from like what she wanted in the beginning,
yeah.
which I think it's not just you. I think if any person looks at enough nice new things, you constantly be like, oh, but this would be cool, and you get further away from maybe like the original like first reaction. And then also I think that's like your ring. It's you very unique. You know, is custom for you. There's like you go in a jewelry area. There's not something that looks like that.
That's true.
But it's funny. That was like a funny thing for me because like I already had the ring, but I had to act like I didn't have it. And I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, I think I said once, I'm like, hey, you know, if you keep on sending me stuff, I'm not gonna know what to do. But like, I already had the ring, and I kept it up in like a locked safe somewhere. I'm like, I don't even want to touch it or look at it or anything like that. Just keep it away. Sometimes I forgot I had it, just because I didn't want a chance of like messing it up or losing it.
Yeah, and that's actually so funny because it's like you'd call it like, what if you were like, hey, Harry, we're actually gonna change it up again. I'm so sorry. She sent another idea. She's like, Brayden, I can't keep doing this.
Sorry, real quick. It's actually funny that I've kept it from so many people. Kenzie, there was countless times we'd be sitting in the car, be looking at each other, talking something, and I was gonna bring up the fact that I got you a ring that I wanted to propose on the trip. Like, there's so many times of like, I was gonna be like, oh, I'm so excited to propose to you on the trip. Like, in my head, like, I'm glad I stopped myself, but it like was here and it came to my mouth and then it went back. And I'm like, I almost just said it. But like, there's like.
We talk about like everything, you know? We talk every day. I can't imagine. I couldn't keep that for that long.
I know, especially with
like,
the
I get
summer.
the lucky part because I get surprised when we have a kid, but I'm not waiting. It's like one day of keeping a secret, or like probably like 20 minutes. I'll put a card together or something. Surprise! But like, you had to keep that for months. That's crazy.
And I bet it would be hard too because Mackenzie's your gem. So it's like seeing her and like looking at her, you're probably like, oh my goodness, I can't wait.
And I'm just over here crying about
Actually,
not having a ring.
There was one time that I'm happy I didn't have the ring because I think I was going to propose.
What
to you.
time?
Do you think you could maybe guess?
No. I have a horrible memory. If you say you don't know.
So, it was on, I believe, July 4th.
Oh.
4th of July. Remember, your whole family went inside. We were outside
dancing to our song.
on a pier dancing, and there's just fireworks going across this whole entire lake. It was beautiful. And honestly, I'm like, and it even was drizzling a little bit. So it was like a movie.
It crossed my mind that it might happen.
I was happy I didn't have the ring because
I
I would have probably
been
done it.
like, yeah, I kind of thought about it then. Because I did. Like, I swear, every day before this trip, I thought about it.
Yeah,
every single day we went on, every holiday, I'm like, 4th of July is
There's
his
actually
favorite.
a funny
4th
time.
of July is his favorite holiday. He's probably going to do it underneath the fireworks.
There's this one of my favorite times was so the whole reason why Kenzie didn't know this at all, and she might talk about it later, and I'm sorry, Kate, I know you have questions, but
you're good. You're
good. I was on top of saying that it wasn't happening this trip, and she was like, Brayden would lie to me, and Brayden's been kept on telling me it's not gonna happen this trip, and I would make up the most like random reasons because I was hard selling it's not gonna happen this trip for the reaction that I got because I wanted to be a surprise. But what was saying that I was trying to hide it, and man, what was I gonna say? I forgot. My bad.
Well, talking
Dang.
about hiding it.
Yeah.
So how did this planning come along? Like what was like your initial plan? Because no, you don't want to go there first.
No, I don't want to talk about my initial.
What was your initial plan?
What was your initial
Tell
plan?
us.
Wait,
Tell us.
wait.
I'm not saying.
I want to know. Why not?
Oh, yes. No, I'm not talking about that plan. I'm talking about
What was the other
what
plan?
your plan was. Like what happened? How did that come about?
Oh.
Like how the location, the spot,
Yeah. So I had other ideas of like how to propose, but then this trip came up, and my whole thing is like I want to give you the world. You deserve everything. You deserve paradise. You deserve true love. You deserve a movie moment like at all times because that's how I see life through the lens of like me and you. Me and you share the TV show thing where we make jokes and like act like we're like Jim from The Office and we look at the camera. We like just set up. It's just fun to live life that way. But
It is.
with you, I definitely want to make it like a romantic movie and like give you moments that will like be everlasting. So I wanted to propose somewhere that like is somewhere like awesome and spectacular, somewhere new or something that means a lot to us. And this place came up. I love Florida, and also I knew that it would be such a just an awesome moment to be on the beach right next to the ocean with the sun setting down, which we got perfectly. And like just like living this like fever dream of like, what? Like, is this really happening? Like in the, like how it's just spectacular. But the other thing I wanted to give to you, and I wanted to give you opportunity to, is like oftentimes people get engaged and then they have to go to work the next day, or they have just like the responsibilities. And I wanted you to be in a spot where like you could just relax and take it in and then just enjoy it. And I like to hope that that's what happened, because I proposed on the first day, and then we went and you had a full week of just like our family vacation, and then you came back again. And I'm not trying to get too ahead of things, but then we had family meetings, and then after that we had a huge celebration the next day with like everyone came out. Thank you so much. It really meant a lot. But it's like I wanted to give you not just one moment, but I wanted to give you like a lot of moments to celebrate such a special thing. So the planning happened months before. This came up an idea, and I'm like, all right, it's between that or something else. And I kind of lean towards that just because the idea of like you have more time afterwards just to relax, enjoy, and we can have our moments along with like, I just think that's something that, you know, when you go back to tell the story, I think that also like hits different too. I also like the idea because like that gives us another, like we have multiple spots that we have in the world, and like that's now a new spot that we like unlocked that we can go back to and have those moments. We like know our spot and everything. Does that answer the question?
Yeah. And then do you want to go in depth or detail of where it was and stuff, and like the run and all that stuff?
Oh yeah, I can talk about that.
Okay, that's just the next, and then I was gonna talk a little bit more about the emotion part to it.
Yeah. Kenz, do you have any thoughts on any of this so far? Or is some of this information new to you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it came time for the day. Got the ring, all that stuff. Just time waiting. I went on my big, huge Braden like epitome of traveling trip. It was awesome. It was a dream of mine. Completed it. I kind of talked about it in the previous episodes. And so then we got there. We flew in, and we were either doing it the Saturday, the 17th, or the Sunday, the 18th. That took a lot of mental thing. Did you see that? Yeah. I was like, what comes after 17? And I had to say Sunday. It was like a whole thing. Days and numbers don't work well. But I was like Saturday the 17th or Sunday the 18th. I keep on wanting to say 20th.
Yeah, no, I was actually thinking about that.
Is it 0 or something?
Sunday
I don't know.
feels like a 20th.
Yeah. So I was thinking that. But then I conversed with my party planning committee that helped out such a ton. Shout out to them. They know who they are. And so we had the opportunity to do it the day before, because the next day we'd have to go to bed and wake up early to pack and leave. So we did it that night. But the thing was, it was kind of scattering rain all around. And before we even went and chose that, months before, we found this Italian restaurant. And Kenzie loves Italian. And I'm also part Italian, but she loves Italian food. And so we're like, we had to go to a nice dinner. So we went there. Well, we looked online and we found this Italian spot right next to the ocean. So the plan was, hey, we're gonna like go out to dinner, a nice dinner, but like, oh, we're gonna head there out early and just walk the ocean. Like that was our scapegoat to get to that point without our realizing. So we got there, me, my dad, and Kaden, we drove out to go get lunch. We did get lunch, so I don't know why I did that. We went out to get lunch, but we did scout out the area, and we got to the beach, and I looked, and it was packed full. And I'm like, this is not what I was thinking. But I also realized, Braden, it's a Saturday, midday, on a nice day. Of course, the beach is going to be packed. So in the evening and sunset, hopefully it won't be as packed. So then we got lunch, came back. I don't think you girls ever realized or anything like that, because it was JLo, my mom, and Kenzie at the hotel. Then we hung out at the hotel a little bit. Then you girls went down to the pool. Then me and Kaden, we were going to work out. We were going on a run, but I was like, hey, let's run to the spot and try to find a better spot. So we ran over there. We ran like 18 miles in like 30 minutes. We got there. And we were like, okay, this is a cool spot. And then we kind of walked and we're like, all right, this is a cool spot. And then we're like wrapped around, this is a cool spot. Like, but that spot would be better. And by the time we got to that spot, it was like a 20-minute walk. And I'm like, there's no way Kenzie would ever walk this far. And like,
without even being suspicious.
Without being suspicious. And also it's tiring. I would get tired because the spot that we came to is even further away from where we'd get dropped off. It'd be like easily a 30-minute walk one way. So we're like, oh, we can't do that. And then it started raining and all that stuff because it was cloudy here and there. But if you know Florida, it comes and goes. So then we ran back and we were a little bit late because we were planning other things for like the dinner and stuff. So we had a little audibles and stuff, but it worked out. Then we got to the place and everyone in our crew, Caden, my mom, Jayla, and my dad, and me, we had lines. We basically had like lines like a script of I'm not going to be too excited. Caden's going to not wear nice clothes. I'm not going to wear nice clothes. We're going to be told to wear nice clothes. We're going to kind of be slow to getting ready. Jayla did really well with working with Kenzie. She got her nails done because they were running on trips, so they'd get their nails done, but also like the fact of like you'd get that ready along with just like, hey, you should look nice. Let's dress up. My parents are like, hey, we're taking you out to a nice dinner. This is the only nice dinner we're going to, so make sure we look nice. And so it's just all the words and everything is being said. So I'm in the hotel room, like getting dressed and getting ready. I already went out with my like Florida clothes that like look ratchet, Kenzie would say.
I don't think they look ratchet.
Thank you. And so I'm getting changed, and my dad comes in. He gives me the ring, and I grab the ring, and I'm like, and it's outside the box because I can't walk around with a huge box in my pants. And so I'm like, and I put it in my pocket. I'm like, and so like I come out and I have it in my pocket, and like for the rest of the night up until the time I propose, my hand's over the pocket because I don't want her to see anything poking out. It was actually these pants. Hopefully they look nice on camera. Then we went out there, we got in the car, and they're like, oh, since we're going so early, let's go on the beach. And in my head, I'm like, don't say anything. I'm just not going to act like I want to. So I'm just like, yeah, you know, we're driving. And then we found the restaurant, and then I'm starting getting antsy. I'm like, Dad, drop us off. Like, we're supposed to get off here right now. What are we doing? And so then we finally got dropped off. And then Jayla and Katie in their jobs, and they did a phenomenal job. If you check it out on Instagram for either our pages, you'll see it. And they did an amazing job capturing everything, but they had to be behind us. So then we were walking. I grabbed her hand, and in my head, I'm like, what do I even talk about? Like, I've been dating this girl for a while now, but I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what do I say? Like, I have to make up small talk. So I'm like saying the most random things in my head. I'm like, oh, do you think I could swim out to that boat? I'm like, oh, what do you think about like walking? You know how healthy it is for you? I'm like,
those
saying
are
these random
completely
things,
normal things for you to say.
But you, what was your thought when we were just talking?
Zero thoughts. Girl mode on. Was not thinking about anything.
You didn't have any idea. You were thinking it's just a regular conversation.
You're acting like that's weird for you to say. Like,
but
every time we walk, you're like, do you think I could lift that car? If you were falling, do you think I could? I'm like, yes, of course. Those are like completely normal things for you to say.
I know, but in my head, I was like, my heart was racing. My hand was over my pocket.
You didn't seem nervous.
I was just like, what do I even say or talk about? So then we get onto the beach. It's sunset.
Yeah, oh, let me say something. Oh, wait, are you going to talk about the weather at all?
No, you can.
Okay, so no joke. In my head, when we were running, first of all, I noticed it was super cloudy. And I immediately look at where I think the clouds are going to leave. And then where it's going to become blue. It was not blue. And I literally went, oh, snap. This might be a really cloudy day.
We couldn't do it the next day. It is for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah. And so we were on our run. I was like, okay, hopefully it gets better. And so we're running and nothing's happening. It's just cloudy. Then we get to spot. The first spot that we checked out, which was the tiger tail, I think it was. Yeah. And so we get there, and it kind of smells. Like, it smells.
The first entrance to the beach, because it's not straight onto the ocean. It's like a super small bay. Is that how you describe it? Like, very, very small. Like,
and I was like trying to be there for my boy, so I was like, oh, dude, like, no one's here. No one's here. And then we're like walking, and then we hear like, like a bunch of little.
Probably at least 1,000 crabs.
It was insane. And so he's like, "Oh my goodness, what are those?" And I'm like freaking out at first. And then he's like, "Oh dude, those are like crabs." And I'm not even joking. You just see like shadows just.
Absolutely not.
And so
You heard that? You're like, these are like small things. They shouldn't make noise, but there's like at least 1,000. Just
yeah. And so I'm still trying to be. I'm like, dude, those are so. Actually, they were actually really cool though. To be fair. Yeah. And so we're like walking, and we're like, oh, and I'm like and it's still just so cloudy, and I'm like, oh, dude, no way. And then we start running to this little place, and it was very far, like very far.
We had to run. It was that far.
Yeah, and then it was like there's some grass though and stuff, and so I was like, oh, dude, this would be amazing. This would be amazing. Still cloudy. Then it starts to like drizzle. And it didn't stop when we were running. And I was like, oh, no, bro. This has to stop. Like, this has to. And then we get into the pool. It's still cloudy. And then when we stopped at the place, the sun was still in the the sun was still in the clouds, but you literally had this much room.
It was cloud.
Yeah.
And then you want to be the sun.
Yeah.
So there's sun in the air, and then it'd go through the cloud.
Yeah.
And then then you'd go down.
Yeah.
And then there'd be enough sun just before it would set.
Yeah.
That's what you're referring to?
Yeah. So like legitimately there was minimal time, but it wasn't even going through our minds, I feel like. It was minimal time, like it wasn't anything crazy, but after like and then yeah.
So we're on the beach and we're walking, and I'm like, well, it's sunset. Of course, there's going to be a lot of people here. So I'm like, man, okay. So I grab her hand and I'm just walking. But I look up ahead and there's like a good open spot.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's people around, but it's still private. So I take her hand, we're walking. I'm making up random things, I feel like. Then I'm too far in the beach. Then I'm trying to go to the ocean.
We kept going in between. And he's like, do you like this type of sand on your feet? And I was like, Brayden, just walk by the ocean. Like, why are we walking 5 feet away in the different sands?
I was like, do you want to take off your shoes? I was like,
why would
I didn't know what to do.
No, it's actually, and so about that too is it faked Jayla and I out. So there'd be times where there's a video on Sister Amy's phone that was literally like, and then they like moved, and I was like, oh, this is not the time. So I'd like stop it, and then Jayla was like, what are they doing? What are they doing? And then we're like just waiting for the moment.
Because we had to walk a little distance to get there, but we were walking and like just making random things, and no joke, I'm not kidding you. Mm-hmm. We're walking up and we see a couple taking their wedding photos, like a girl in a wedding dress and a man in a suit. And in my head I go,
not in your head.
What
you
are
say
the
out
no,
loud.
no. I go, what are the odds? I'm like, the foreshadowing of this. This is insane. If she would know that would be crazy. But out loud, I said like, oh my goodness. And I was thinking that, but you thought it was.
I thought you were talking about the dress. I thought you were worried her dress is getting dirty.
Because her dress was getting wet. So then we're walking, and she goes, oh, I just want to get married. And in my head, I'm like, it's about to go down. And then I made the, whatever. And then you were like.
I was like, Brayden, knock it off.
You're like, stop. Let me just have this moment. Why do you always have to be like this? Stop being a boy.
Literally.
And so we were walking, and in my head, I'm like, well, yeah, it's about to go down. So then we're walking a little bit more, and we get to the spot, and then I grab her hands, and I start dancing with her, and I start singing a song. And then she's a little nervous because Katie and Jayla, they're not right by us, but they are a little bit ways, and they have their phones out. And Kenzie was actually nervous that Jayla was like going to be like, you guys are like, PDA, stop that.
Yeah, I know Jill doesn't like, you're her brother, so.
Yeah.
But she doesn't like when we're doing that. And I was like, we're like open in this open space, dancing. They're going to be like, stop. Get her
So we're dancing, and I'm singing her. I finished the song.
So I told him to stop. I said, just look at the sun.
Kenzie looks back and sees Jayla. And Jayla quickly goes, oh my goodness, the sun, and moves the camera off because you guys, it looked right at you.
Stressful, man.
I didn't think anything of it.
Because
I
Kenzie,
didn't think why they were quiet. I thought, wow, they must really like this.
Yeah, so like legitimately, Jayla and I just kept saying, wow, look at that sun.
No,
look at
literally,
that sun.
the audio video was just, wow, that sun.
It was just, we were just talking how beautiful the sun was. And then we're like trying to time the sun to be like with them. So we're like, Oh my goodness, the sun is so beautiful. And we kept seeing Kenzie's face look so, like, we'd go,
Like they kept like adjusting, like moving, like they were trying to
It
find.
was funny. So then I finished the song, finished dancing. I grab her hands, and I go like Mackenzie Elizabeth, and I like to think I'm pretty good with my words. I mean, I co-host a podcast, and I've done talks and things like that. Usually off the dome.
And with us, you're normally very good.
Yeah, I'm very good. Like I'm just got that W Riz. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he writes
Put that in the
poems. He does all of these things.
Yeah, I write poems.
you
and
write
things.
poems?
I do.
Come on now.
He writes me very good poems.
Yeah.
Drop some bars. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Anyway, so I look at her and I start to talk, and I'm telling you guys, I didn't make one sentence out. Like it didn't even make sense. It was like, I love you and you were pretty and like I like and we walk
No,
and you
it was
like,
nothing.
yeah.
You barely said anything. You just
Well, I
said my
started
name.
tearing up.
Yeah.
And then while I'm doing all this, Kenzie, what are you saying?
No, you said Mackenzie and then you went quiet. And I'm like,
No, that's not.
unless I blacked out, I didn't hear a single word. And I was like, stop, Brayden. Like,
So why are you saying stop to
I
me?
was like, it hurts my feelings when you lie to me because you do that where you're like, ooh, I'm going to propose. And it's
So-
like fake.
so
and so I'm
apparent-
like, stop. Like,
So
my God.
apparently in the past, I've messed around and like
And
pretending
well,
to
guys
propose.
do that where they're like, oh,
Yeah.
tying your shoe
So,
and you're like, and
I'm
it's like,
holding
yeah.
I'm holding your hands, about to ask one of the most important questions in my entire life. And I'm getting told in my face, no, stop. No, stop. You're messing. You're joking. No, stop. Get even to the point where I'm like, no, listen. And I'm like starting to tear up and cry now. And I get down on a knee. And she goes, no, get up. You're joking around. Don't do this. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm like trying to save myself. And I go, Mackenzie Elizabeth. What do you mean? And I'm sobbing completely.
He's
I'm like
sobbing.
that kind of like the high one, like the
You're barely getting it out.
and I pull out the ring, and then she goes, ah, and then she freaks out. You want to talk about your freak out experience or when you saw the ring?
Yeah, well, I didn't believe you until I saw the ring. I thought you were joking the entire time. Like, not even, I didn't think it was real. And then when I saw the ring, I was like, I didn't even hear you talk anymore. I didn't hear you ask me.
You said all your alarms.
All my alarms, everything went blank, black, gone, every thought gone. I'm just like, what is happening right now? Because I was not expecting him.
Yeah, you're freaking out, and then she's like doing all this stuff, and I'm like, is that a yes?
And by doing stuff, he means hitting him and jumping.
Yeah, she was excited.
Oh, she jumped high too.
Bro,
She's touched the sun. And which I love that about you. I love you. So,
know.
then she put it on, and then we freaked out some more, and then we had our moment, and then my family came over and greeted us, and it was a lot of crying and all that stuff.
Like, you
and then-
picture that moment for, like, your whole life. I mean, as a girl. But when you're in it, you're just like, what's going on?
You said you were practicing.
Yeah, I practiced being like a cute little smile, and then I was gonna like bend down and like grab your face or something, and I get there, I'm just hopping, bro. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. It was like surreal feeling because you're just like your adrenaline's going, and like it's not nervous for me because I know I'm gonna say yes, so I'm not
Yeah.
nervous. I'm just happy, and he's like freaking out. He's nervous, and then I'm thinking about like you guys, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like. What am I gonna say? Like, what's going on? And then I don't know. I feel like it didn't hit me till like 3 days later, to be honest.
Yeah, and so then our family came over. Then we took a bunch of photos that looked great job, and you see the video and everything. Kaden did that
Yeah.
spectacular photo, spectacular Jayla, and then me and Kenzie had like our own moment. Then afterwards, after that, then we walked back. We went to this Italian restaurant, which was a lot nicer than I thought it was gonna be.
know.
I thought it was gonna be.
bougie.
I was just
Bougie.
thinking it was an Italian restaurant, but it was like it's like the type of nice restaurant where they constantly ask you if there's enough water, is the food good, is there anything I can get you. We had flowers set up at the table, so we walked in, had flowers, and then we had a great family dinner, got great Italian food food, and then after that, then just the rest of the trip was awesome. I had a
Yeah.
fiance.
And when we were doing our toasts, so we were like, let's do toasts for Brayden and Kenzie. And so we're all going, we're saying our stuff, and we're like sobbing, right?
Like high
And,
pitch.
Like sobbing, we're crying.
Can't even
'cause
get
we're
words
just
out.
so, like, this moment isn't just their moment. Like,
It's really about Caden.
The people, yeah, I was like, no way this just happened.
I can't believe
I
I'm
can't, I
losing
pulled
my
up my
best
phone.
friend.
I did so good.
Did you guys see that video?
And so,
was so good.
so like in this whole moment, it wasn't just a moment for them, but it was a moment for everyone in that table, because we're like, oh my goodness, like these are some of the most important people in our lives, and their his family was there, so it's like this is their son. This is her brother, and then Kenzie is an absolute wonderful being, and she's just absolutely beautiful in every aspect that she does and who she is. So we were all like just saying some very, very nice things about each other while we're going around. But as we were crying, there was multiple times where we had to stop because the waiters would come up and ask how the food was. We didn't eat. We didn't like take a bite.
For like 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah. No.
And so we didn't take a bite of our food. So they asked us, and we're like, oh, it's so good, it's so good. They kept checking the water. They kept asking us things. Like, while we're saying things, all this stuff. So they're seeing us cry, but they're like, I think they seriously saw us and were like, let's just make a joke, and let's just keep interrupting what they're saying, what they're doing.
They
so
won't
that
even
way-
acknowledge it. Like, Brayden's tears are still coming out of his eyes, and they're just like, do you want more water?
I'm like,
And they're
I have
not
enough
looking
right
at
here.
him, like, and they're just pouring it. Like, they did not take the hint.
Yeah. And so we had a beautiful dinner. They called everyone, they FaceTimed everyone. Do you want to say your favorite, like the funniest story?
We had great reactions. A lot of people truly cared and loved us, and I think that was reflected a lot at our engagement party that we had on just yesterday or the other day, whatever day it is. And it which is so much love. Your family on both of your sides, they did a great job putting all the food together, all the decorations, then the atmosphere, the culture that they created, the looks, the aesthetic. Like, they did a phenomenal job. They seriously, shout out to you guys. Great job. It was like you're only getting one engagement party, and it was spectacular. After this, there's only one more. It's only one of one for all these things, and they did such an amazing job.
In such a quick time too. Like,
Yeah,
I was
there was
not
only 1
expecting
week.
that. It was insane.
Yeah, 1 week, and it was awesome. It was everything we ever dreamed of, and all
My
the
mom's
people that
crazy,
came.
by the way. All that stuff she bought, I hope Amazon doesn't want us. She returned everything. The vases, the banners. She's crazy. That's how you do it, though. That's goated. She didn't have to pay for, like, all. She was able to return it all. I was on Amazon today, and I saw that it all got returned.
That's crazy.
Wait, that's actually awesome.
I know.
Your mom's a goat,
She's
dude.
like, I paid $100 for these vases. She's like, we ain't keeping them. I'm like, what? She's like, you guys give me a week. I had to expedite everything. I was like,
It was honestly so beautiful, and a lot of people came out just to celebrate them, and they're truly loved and appreciated. And were you gonna say more? Because I have another question. So this is coming from a person who isn't engaged.
Yeah.
What does it mean to have a ring? Well, I'll start with that. What does it mean to have a ring on your finger that you've never had jewelry, you've never had that? So what does it mean to like have a beautiful ring on your finger?
That's a great question. Oh wait,
Ooh.
I didn't get a ring.
Yeah, he's getting a big one. Actually, we're getting matching ones. So I'm getting 2 carats. You know what I'm saying? On his
matching one.
pinky one. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude,
That's-
imagine.
We can't say it on the podcast.
Usually when we want to say something like that, we usually
Yeah.
look at each other and we know.
Okay.
But since we'll do this.
You
Wait,
said
you
it.
said it.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Guys, I'm kidding.
No. Okay. So go ahead. Go ahead.
So
All right.
you guys can't know that.
Keep
Ask
going,
us
stop.
privately if you want to hear.
No, just go.
Keep moving past it.
I don't know if you're saying go on with what we're talking
No,
about.
go.
Okay, we're moving past it.
Oh, go on with like okay.
Go on with the
Sorry.
jokes.
Yeah. Go.
Yeah, but this whole thing was very, like, I knew it was going to be spectacular. I had no doubt this was going to be spectacular. Like, when people would ask me what I thought it was going to be like, I'm like, I can't. Like, it's just going to be, like, spectacular. Because that's just how Brayden does everything. Like, even when he asked me to be his girlfriend, he took it, like, next level. We had a whole day of, like, going to our favorite spots. And he wrote me this poem. And, like, he could have just asked me, like, in a parking lot. I would say yes. But he just makes everything a movie. When we go on dates, everything's a movie. Like, it's very thought out. So I knew it was going to be thought out. But I didn't know it was going to be, like, on an island with a sunset. I didn't know that. Yeah, I think that it's a big thing when you ask somebody that. And I know it's very important to Brayden. And when we talk about it, he's always very serious. Like, he doesn't really play games with, like, how he feels about me. He always says that, like, I'm not going to play games with you. So I knew, like, this was a big thing for him and a big step, and I know what it means for him. Like, now he doesn't get to do what he wants all the time. Like, no, but seriously, like I know it means, like, giving up some sort of, like, before this, everything you could do was all about you, and now you were, like, letting me into that, and now it's about us. And I know that was, like, a big adjustment for anybody, really, any guy, to be like, I'm gonna lay myself aside, and I want to, like, spend my life with you. So, and Brayden, with his crying, I knew what he was trying to say. I could interpret his cries a little bit. But it was, like, surreal. I think that's why, like, it doesn't feel real for a while, because, like, I have the ring, but it's like, are we really getting married? Like, that's crazy. We are. Well, yeah, we are. But it's, like, it's hard to fully process it. It feels good. It feels good to walk around and be like, yeah, I'm taken. Like, and it's, like, there. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if anybody's looking, it's like, yeah, I'm off the market. I'm sorry. You missed your chance, you know? I love wearing it. I was telling Brayden, somebody asked me today, like, does it feel weird? And I'm like, no, not at all. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit uncomfortable. It feels great. Yeah, it was perfect. I loved it.
It feels right, I bet.
It does feel right.
Especially with, like, you guys are like truly best friends. You guys have like your jokes. You guys have like there'll be times where they'll be laughing and we'd be like, I don't even know what they're laughing at. But then there's like they have such contagious laughs that sometimes you just laugh with them and you're like, I don't even know I'm laughing, but they're like joking around, they're doing the thing. I have another question. I'll get right back to you.
Yeah, no.
So funny story is, or a funny little thing is, Kenzie, once she got a ring, she never wanted to take it off. She never wanted to. And Brayden was like, hey, don't sleep with it. And she was like, I'm just never going to take it off.
I never take it off.
Like at night.
I sleep
we're on a beach and, like, there's ocean and, like, we're traveling. I can
bring it to the ocean.
Things. I'm just saying, like, that's what I was saying. You should wear it. I don't want to lose it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, even to the point where she would just leave it on, and then she jumped into the pool, and Brayden's like, what are you doing? Wait, Mom, is this able to be?
Listen, if it's real, it can handle a lot of things.
It is real.
Okay, then no need to worry. It's nicely secure. It's actually not nicely secure right now. It's a little big. But I got it. I was holding it the whole time.
Wait, do you want to say why it's not secure?
I got the wrong hand size, okay? I didn't know that your right hand was bigger than your left. So if you're getting engaged, get your left hand measured because it's bigger because of your muscles. I didn't even think about that your fingers have muscles, bro. I'm goated with this hand.
Yeah, you're too strong. You're too strong.
I write too much. Yeah, no, so it's a little big, but I'm still not taking it off. And I'm gonna cry when it's taken.
Wait, what?
To get resized. I was not
like,
taken away.
I was like, wait, what happened?
I can't afford it. We're gonna go with something smaller.
No, Brayden, don't make those jokes.
I was joking. I can afford it. I afforded it.
Okay.
I mean,
it's a diamond.
It's a real diamond, but that doesn't matter. That's not what we're talking about.
It's a beautiful
right?
diamond, and it's huge.
It's perfect. I told Brayden, like, when we started, he asked me to pick out a ring. I was like looking, but Brayden said so too. There's so many rings. And you start looking, and then it's like, it shows you more, it shows you more, it shows you more, and all of a sudden you're on, like, a completely different ring because it just keeps showing you things like it, but a little bit different. And this is kind of what I described to him what I originally wanted, but after a while, I was like, Brayden, you just need to design it because it's too much. I hate making decisions. And I'm like, also, though, Brayden is opinionated, like, in a good way, like, he knows what he likes. And anytime it comes to my ring, he's like, he wants to feel proud of it. like, yeah, I got my girl that ring. Like, I got that. It looks good. He likes it. Like, he cares about what it looks like. And so I wanted him to feel, like, proud of what he bought.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be, like, you know, it's fun to pick out what you want, but I felt better about being like, yeah, he got this for me, and he picked it out, and he designed it, and he's really proud of it. Because then I feel like it means more than, like, I went shopping, and I was like, buy me this. You know what I mean?
That's actually
It's
a great
meaningful.
point.
Like,
Yeah.
he took time to think, and it's perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. It's dainty. It's pretty. I think. Well, I guess
Dainty.
I like the band is dainty.
Dainty.
The
I was
band's
like,
kinda
dang,
big,
dude, that
but
ice is heavy.
It's just a small little thing.
They're gonna go back and they're like, oh, actually, your left ring finger is actually way bigger than your right now. I don't know if you've been working that out.
No, but like he thought about every detail, and like his parents were telling me how nervous he was like the whole time of like, what if it's not right, and like all of this stuff, and like the memory attached to it makes it even more meaningful than like the ring itself. Just like the idea of like, you know, you only hopefully get to propose to somebody once and get to offer a ring, and it's not really about the diamond or like the material. It's about what that means, you know, to do that and to like spend a lot of money because you care about someone and you want them to have something perfect. So him designing it, he designed it perfect. I love it. I don't want an upgrade ever. I want to keep it forever.
That's
People are
actually,
saying that, like, what are you gonna do for the upgrade? I'm like, I don't want an upgrade. I like my ring. I love
Shout
my
out
ring.
Harry. You're
Shout
awesome.
out
Thanks for
Harry.
helping me out.
It's perfect. Yeah. So I love it. He did really good, even though I sent him a lot of mixed signals with a lot of rings.
so day by day now, what is it like? Do you take it off when you go to bed?
Nope. I sleep with it. I shower in it. I eat with it. I went to work with it today. Don't tell him. I bought a fake ring though for work. I won't do it again. I couldn't take it off today. Also, the thing about me though, if I don't wear it at night, I'm gonna forget it in the morning. Like I'm not gonna wear it probably 6 out of 7 days of the week because in the morning I can't think.
Wait, that's actually kind of sweet though. Like,
Yeah.
this, like, you know, that's kind of sweet, right?
It is sweet. It's not.
That
What do
she's
you think
gonna
I do with my
forget
shoes?
that in the
No,
morning.
no. Okay.
No, it's comfortable too. It's not like it hits things like like the edges of it or like
I don't know how
secure.
it doesn't hit things.
It doesn't really. I mean, I don't like flail too. Yes, I do. I
no,
do
no,
flail.
no, that's not what I was saying. It's just so massive. I just can't believe like you.
I
you,
know.
like-
I would think it would hit more things, but it doesn't really too much. Yet I've only had it for like a week. So
Oh, dude, that's so crazy. It's so crazy to look at
Yeah.
your finger and be like, oh my goodness.
I was
That's
telling
like
Brayden like now that we're home, it feels a lot different. Like when we were on vacation, it was like playing dress up almost because you're already not in your home, in a new environment. Like all of a sudden, it doesn't really hit you, but then you come home and you're like, oh, like something's different. Like things are different. Or like conversations we have are different now because it's not like, but like when we were dating, we were very good about keeping things separate and not being codependent or mixing things before you're getting married because that can be very bad if you start mixing money or like planning your life together and then it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Like that's just not smart. But now that we're engaged, it's like what are we doing? Or like conversations like that start coming. It's like, oh my gosh, wait, we're gonna spend the rest of our life together and like we're planning things now.
What was that joke that she said about your money, but she was like our money?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
so-
one big pot now.
Yeah.
Who cares who pays?
Yeah, like that's what she says. Or I'm spending money on us here and there, and then every once in a while, like she would get us like a dinner or like something
Yeah.
nice or little snacks. And she goes, "It doesn't matter. It's all together. It's basically your money you're paying for." I'm like, Kenzie, no, like
Yes,
Don't
it
say
is.
that.
It's months away that our pot is combined. What is it?
Do you guys know your date yet?
No. A lot of venues are really booked. So I'm looking, but it's going to depend on the venue. Yeah, people book early. So if you're getting engaged, start looking. Because people book
or if
like
you
a year
think
in
you're
advance.
getting engaged.
Or if you don't think it. Because
Start
sometimes
looking.
they will do it to you when you don't think so.
There's some people in like some TV shows that I've seen that like girls like book a venue like a year or
Yes.
2 out, even if they're just dating a guy.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Because people have like year and a half long engagements, which like if you're not in the church, it probably doesn't matter because you're living together. It's just like a date to celebrate, so you can push it off or whatever. But I did not want a long engagement because one, that's a long time just to be like focused on that. You know what I mean? And I also feel like I'm super excited for the wedding day. It's gonna be amazing, but I'm more excited for like our life together. And like all of that, so I would not want to wait a year. And also, one of my friends wants to get married next year. She told me I can't wait too long, otherwise we might overlap. I can't say who it is though. Anyways.
That was good. That was good. That was good.
So that friend told me better hurry up and get one in the beginning of the year. But also the big reason why we really want June is because then we can have our whole summer together, because he's a teacher, so he has like summers where he's still getting paid but he's not at work, so we are able to like do a long vacation, or like, you know, it's like our first summer together. Yes, it's like our first summer together, so it's like it feels just like magical to be able to like get married, and that's like not like we necessarily have to like go back to work the next week and like everything's different. Like we kind of get a summer.
Brayden and Kenzie's selfish summer
summer. Because like for the rest of our lives, we're gonna have to like be probably working or like doing our things, or like eventually you have kids, and like you only have one time in your life that you get to be like. Just,
we can take a summer and be irresponsible.
Yeah. Be irresponsible, because who cares? It's one big pot.
Brayden and Kenzie's irresponsible.
It's one big pot, baby. Who cares?
Brayden and Kenzie's irresponsible summer.
Yeah, irresponsible summer.
Irresponsible, selfish summer.
Coming soon.
Coming soon. Yeah, and that's why I feel like the biggest thing is that the engagement is not about anybody else. It's not about like it's really just like the most special thing between you two. Like posting pictures is fun and getting congratulated is fun, but like the best feelings and the most butterflies you get is when you're with each other, or you're talking about with each other, or you're alone and you're like, are we engaged? Like, what's going on? And yeah, those are like my favorite moments.
So I didn't tell you this.
Bro, stop shaking right now. There's a video camera going.
Video camera dude's folding up.
Bro!
So I didn't tell you this, but there was a lot of times where I saw you staring at your ring. A lot of times where you just go like this.
Oh yeah, I stared.
I've noticed that like a bunch throughout the vacation. And my question to you is, what was going through your mind?
Dang, that looks nice. That looks nice. I like that ring. Good ring. Very good ring. Love ring. Very pretty, sparkly ring. Yeah, it's just like weird because you don't have a ring your whole life, and then you just have your dream ring on your finger, so you just gotta look at it. I like it. Listen, if nobody else is gonna stare at it, I'm gonna stare at it.
I'm pretty sure people will
Brayden
stare
likes
at
when I
it.
stare at it though. Like every time I'm like looking at it, he's like, all right, she likes the ring. She likes the ring, and he stares at it sometimes. It's just it's like stunning. So sometimes I look at it, and then I'm usually thinking like, oh my goodness, we're getting married. That's crazy. It still doesn't feel real, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm like trying to tell myself it's real, but it's like, is it real? I don't know. He might take it back. We don't know. Just kidding. That was a joke.
So my question to you, young fella, is after you propose, after you get that moment where you guys celebrate, and actually one cute thing is, after we had a beach day one day, and I don't know how far you guys walked, but they walked really far, so I can only assume they walked to the spot where they got engaged. No, you guys didn't. Oh wow, that. Did you guys not?
Day we're talking
One
about.
thing, okay, then I'll go to the. So I was gonna say, it was like after they got engaged with the weather, it was like I looked and the sun was going down, and I literally was like, this was like a God moment.
Yeah, right after it was over, the sun was like going down.
Yeah, and it was like you got to see how much room there was, and it was like God was like, this is so. God was like, Brayden, you better do it.
Yeah, that was the first thought that came to my mind. I was like, thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
Because it was just so pretty. It was like he painted the sky for like one moment, you know?
Yeah, and a lot of funny moments were like
Yeah.
the magazine had a person getting in, or a ring behind their back with a girl in front of them.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of like little moments
There was.
of like proposing, and I was like, Brayden, like this was God saying you did it. Like you,
Yeah.
like this was your moment to do it. My question to you, Bray, is what is it like now having a fiance?
I don't know. It's awesome. It's cool. One thing is that like we're very excited for the future. But as we were on the cruise, that was the trip we went on. That was the trip we were on. We met this older couple that are very like well off. Each month, they're like half of the month they're on a cruise, and they have very nice, successful jobs. The wife is now retired. The husband, he sells real estate while on the board on the ship, and they stay in like the top level nicest room you can have. They're top level premier, high level status, amazing person status. And Caden asked a very great question. He's great at asking questions, as you can tell, but he's great at asking questions in person. He's very personable. A lot of people like him because he's a great person. He asked a question like, what would you pass on to the future generations? And they both had great answers. The girl said, the guy said that he's like, they're very successful, they're well off, and he's basically saying how, sometimes you don't need to work. He goes, you work a lot and to achieve things and gain status or whatever. He's like, but sometimes I look back and be like, did I need to work? Could I took more vacations or take more time? Which was kind of like, for me, it's like, this guy has a lot, but yeah, he's leaving. Like, do you really need to work that much? And then the lady, which kind of gets to your answer, is that she was saying how she heard from a graduation speech that you don't want to wish life away. Yeah. And you don't want to wish for the birthday. You don't want to wish for the vacation. You don't want to wish for the weekend. You don't want to wish for the engagement. You don't want to wish for the wedding. You don't wish for your kid. You don't want to wish, because you get a point where you get older and you realize you wish life away. So I'm very excited for the life that we have, but I really want to enjoy this time of being engaged. I think it's an awesome, spectacular thing that I have a fiance,
Yeah, I would say the same thing. It goes by really fast. Like, you, look forward to it. Oh, hey, Jayla. It's okay, they can hear you walking. Thanks, my phone was dying. Such a bad podcast.
Shout out Jayla.
Shout out Jayla.
Shout out
We
Jayla,
mentioned her a
our
lot during this
photographer.
podcast. She came in.
Our photographer. Anyway, I was gonna say the same thing. Like, you, when you're dating stuff, you look forward to getting engaged, and you want it to happen, but soak it in. Soak in the butterflies, the when is it gonna happen, the planning, the anticipation, because once it's over, and you never get that back, and you're so excited for the next thing. But once that moment of proposing is over, it's over, and it's only 10 minutes, So, soaking it in and not just, wishing your life away and wanting the next big thing. It just really taking in every single season. Being engaged is so fun. I'm excited for the next few months. And I'm excited to get married, too. But I don't want to be so busy. And that's another thing. I don't want to be so busy planning the wedding that don't enjoy it, or I over-stress about it, or I'm, so busy that I don't actually take it in.
Yeah, I need to take you on a couple of dates as a fiance before it's wife,
A couple, you got it 10 months. Hopefully a lot.
Once every other 3
Once every
months.
other month. Well, we've got some gift cards we can use.
But
So, sorry.
yeah. No.
One thing that I really liked about you guys, about your guys' engagement, is you guys you guys were on your own timeline. You guys were when we're ready, when I'm ready,
Yeah.
we'll get engaged. It wasn't at least from what I've seen, Kenzie, you weren't begging Braden. You were oh, my ring is so
Only once.
naked, and I need something.
Ring, my finger.
Finger, yeah, whoops. my finger, my finger's so naked,
Yeah,
and I need
no.
something to cover it. I never heard that from you, and Bray's never been a type of person that's when I'm with him, he very, very highly talks about Kenzie, very, very highly, to the point where if someone didn't know who Kenzie was, they would have thought there was a queen, legitimately
She's
the queen.
She is the queen.
You're
She is the queen. And so, wait, what? I missed that. Okay, that's between you two. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
you can watch
I'll
it
watch
later
it in the
if you
edit.
missed it.
Okay, I'm gonna be in the edit, just scrolling through. When was it? But you guys were on your own timeline. My question is for you: is when do you know when when you're ready to be engaged? When do you know that you're ready to pop that beautiful question?
You asking me?
Well,
I
you. I was actually gonna ask her that question, but then I was like, wait.
I have thoughts
I
too.
have a
It was a
question.
joint
No, I have a
decision.
question that. Oh wait, if you have an answer,
I do.
I was gonna ask you a different question. That's kind of similar to that, but I was gonna ask Bray that question, then get to you on your question.
Mhm.
But do you want her to go first?
Yeah, she can go first.
Okay.
I was just gonna say that I think that some people don't understand what marriage is, or they don't understand the importance of it, and they just want to do it because they're in puppy love, or they just want to get married, or they don't understand like the spiritual aspect of making a covenant with somebody, or making a covenant for God, or what that means in your life, or what that means for together. And so they don't maybe prepare like spiritually, like praying and spending time with God and like really thinking about that. And so like when it came to like us getting engaged, we had talked about it. We kind of had a timeline like financially and with him getting out of school. But another big thing was like, I feel like spiritually having peace about going forward, and like not only having peace about being together, but peace about that we both were like in that place in our lives, because it's a big commitment. And once you live with somebody, it's like everything's on the table. There's no playing games anymore. Like you can't hide anything because you're with each other all the time. So you have to have your ducks in order. Like you need to be good with God. You need to be strong with God before you can be together with somebody with God. And you can't be pretend good with God, because that doesn't work in marriage. Like marriage is vulnerable. There's no acts. There's no like facades. It's not pictures. Like it's you and one other person. We were literally talking. We don't really fight that much, and I think it's because when we get irritated, we can just go home. Or if we spend too much time together, we just go home. And we don't spend every day together. Like we both are very busy and whatever. But we were talking like, and it's not us. Like, how do you guys fight? Like, who does what? And like we kind of seen it. Like he's more assertive, and I'm like kind of retreat. But he's like, I'm kind of excited to fight with you. Like, see what it's like, you know? What do you get like when you're really upset? Like marriage is like everything on the table. So I think how do you know is like a lot of time, a lot of prayer. And I feel you just feel it.
Yeah.
You're just like, yeah, we're ready. Like outside of everything else, I feel ready. I didn't feel nervous. Like I don't feel nervous about getting married. Like I feel nervous about the wedding day, mostly for like practical reasons. But like I don't feel nervous, and I don't feel like any sort of like, is he the one? Did I make a mistake? Am I ready? Like I don't feel any of that questions, because we had like worked through everything before.
So I don't know what it's like to be a girl, but
Yeah.
I can only assume, and I'm not assuming. So, but I think that girls are very excited for that day when their boyfriend or the person that they are in love with pops the question. Look at, she's staring at it right now. She just can't get on it. No, I'm just kidding. But like that question that people are like, like girls are like, I want to ask it. I want them to ask it. I want them to ask it. What should they change their perspective on versus I want them to ask the question? And you kind of alluded to it a little bit about changing the perspective of being ready. But what should they change their perspective to?
I mean, it is so exciting. And there is that pressure, I think, with girls of like, who's next? Who's next? When is it going to happen? And you kind of feel that like outward pressure from people. But I think that it's the first time that you have to trust that person, right? And like you talk about being submissive in marriage, like as like a wife, you have to trust sometimes. And I'm not saying like you don't get to make decisions, but like if we're talking about godly order, they're the leader of a house. So that means you're not always in control of everything. And they sometimes maybe are going to have a thought about where we're going, or maybe God's going to tell them something and I have to like trust. And so like getting proposed to is the first time that you're like doing that, where you have to trust that like they've got it. They're thinking about things, they're going to do it in the right time. And you kind of have to have that mindset of like, I trust that you're praying and you know when it's going to be right. And so like if I'm anxious and trying to be controlling, then I don't trust you very much. I don't trust your judgment very much if I think I need to take control of it. Wow, and so that's what helped me a lot. Of like, I trust Braden. I know that Braden's like not out here lollygagging because he's selfish or he wants to do his own thing. I know that he loves me. And so I trust that like he'll do it when we're ready. And like he's thinking about the bigger picture too, Like he knows what's happening financially. He knows what's going to happen in life. And so that's what helped me have peace. It was like, if I'm going to marry this person and they're going to be my husband and I'm going to have to trust them for the rest of our life to be the leader in my life, then I should be able to trust them with like when we're going to get engaged too.
That's really good. Holy smokes. All right, boss, what do you got over here? I'm just kidding.
Nothing to really say. She really hit the nail on the head of when he talks about love, and also like spiritual readiness and like your just connection and your relationship with God.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a logistic answer. For guys out there, if you're like everything else lines up, my thing is, and I have people in my life that, you know, they threw caution to the wind, they didn't really care, and a lot of successful marriages come from that. But the guy that's thinking about it, you want to be at a spot where you can take care. If that's what you want to do,
Yeah.
I want to take care of her and be able to have her literally just move in to my place, and she doesn't have to work. She doesn't think about anything. It's all taken care of. Everything's supplied for, and all it is, if she wants to work and she wants to have fun money, we can go on extra fun dates or something. But like our life is gonna be fine without her needing to add into it, bring an addition. I know she's built different, and she's awesome and amazing, and I know she likes the grind, and she's crazy like that. She doesn't need to.
I need to be a little stressed. Make it a little antsy.
A logistical
Yeah.
answer to guys out there is like you know, have your goals, have your like ideal situation of you and your future wife, and then make sure you have the substance, the finances, the other, all your ducks in line to do that. You know, I chose this time specifically for this reason, because I know when I do this and I do that, then it's going to be good. And then when she comes and then we get married and then all that stuff, and then she's going to be able to just slip on into the place we're living, and everything's all good. She doesn't have to worry about, where is this, where's that, what about you, what about me? Like, that will be taken care of. So if you are a guy and you're like, I love her, we're spiritually all good and everything like that, and you're looking for like another thing, just make sure your situation's all set up, because you do not want to be creating stress off of things that could have been controlled by rushing things or anything like that. But there are successful marriages that take a totally different route than what I do. But that was me.
Yeah, The Greatest Showman did that, I think.
Yeah, and they did great. But is there any final thoughts?
I just want to say that for everyone who watched the video, I know we didn't kiss, okay, in the engagement when you proposed.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like necessarily like maybe what some other people do, but it was very us. What?
I don't think you need to say any of this.
No, I'm
We're
saying
amazing.
a nice thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying a nice
Sorry.
thing, if you'd let me finish. Fiance. No, but like the jumping, like Brayden like being on the ground and kind of like me attacking him a little bit is very us. Like Brayden is like the rock in my life, I feel like. Like when I'm like feeling everything, he just is like able to stay there and he lets me be me. And so like the whole video, how it happened, every reaction, like it was perfect. It was very us. And 10 out of 10. I wouldn't change a thing.
It was perfect. I loved every single moment, and I felt like I was absolute high in life, living an absolute
I think
dream.
another thing is too is like you guys are on the same team. You're not like fighting each other. So even with like getting engaged, if you're like butting heads of like do it, it's like we're on the same team. We want the same thing. And I think if everybody comes in with the mindset of like I'm gonna outserve you, you're gonna do nice things for me, like, and I'm gonna do it right back. I'm gonna do it more. I'm gonna make you feel even better, and like you're just constantly serving each other. It's just like, it's just good all around. You know what I mean? Nobody feels any sort of way if you're constantly trying to serve instead of like striving or thinking about yourself. If you just like turn your mind to think about the other person of like, I'm not gonna try to be greedy and get something for myself. I'm just gonna do something to serve you. You feel better. Like biblical principles always work, and especially in a relationship they work, of like just keep serving the other person and not letting yourself be consumed with what you want all the time. That's all my final thoughts.
Beautiful.
Oh my goodness, that was amazing. Well, guys, if you're planning on getting engaged, talk to Kenzie.
Right?
Oh my goodness, she like should start like a life group about before engagement.
No.
Wait,
You can come.
I'll
You
come
and
to that.
Jayla
I'll
can
go
be
to
in the
that.
life group.
Jayla, we're going to Kenzie's life group. But guys, thank you so much, Kenzie, for coming along and sharing a little bit of a glimpse of you and Brayden's story, because it's a beautiful story. It could seriously be like in a book. I know you like books, but also a movie. It could be a movie.
It could be both.
It could be more of a movie. I would watch it more. But it's seriously a beautiful story, and it's true. Like the proposal was literally them it was Kenzie's natural response, and it was Braden's natural response of just being like, they're looking at each other as, this is forever, and I want it to be forever with you. And so it's a beautiful thing. If you haven't seen their video, go check them out at Instagram on
BraedonRJ.
And
MACKOEH, but that might change if you don't look soon enough.
hey,
I know.
Like-
Wait, I haven't thought. Like, all my emails have to change.
Yeah, I know. All right.
like and subscribe, turn on those post notifications, send it to someone who isn't engaged. That'll be kind of fun. Or someone who is engaged.
Or someone who's married.
Yeah,
divorced,
or someone who's married. Or
widowed. Anybody, really.
and then anything. But hey, send it to someone and make sure that you pray. It's good to talk to the Lord, talk to him, making sure that you're good. Even just show him that you love him because he loves you. And we filled your curiosity. Hey, we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.